Joining us now, Wall Street Journal columnist and author Bill McGurn, along with political strategist, parental rights advocate Terry Schilling. Thanks for joining us. We've got the Evening Edit debate panel tonight. This new column, first to you, Bill, by Neil Ferguson. We're all Soviets now. What do you make of it, Bill? He's saying we're doing Soviet-style permanent U.S. debt spending. That's a problem. And we have a bogus DEI collectivist ideology pushed by elites into the U.S. government and in schools. You know, Ferguson has 2 degrees from Oxford. He's taught at Oxford as well as Cambridge, NYU, and Harvard. King Charles just knighted Neil a few days ago. What do you think, Bill?
Well, I think, first of all, he's always a good read. He's very intelligent and puts his finger on a lot of things others are missing. And I think he's dead right about the decline in the work ethic, in virtues like patriotism, and the growth of government, demoralizing of the American people. I think he's right about that. And you draw similarities with the Soviet Union toward the end of its time. That said, I don't think we're quite the Soviet Union. We have a lot of things. He argues that China is our real rival, but China's different because it has a vibrant economy that the Soviets never had. And even there, I would caution that China is not immune from some of the same problems. It's a state-run economy. The foreign investors are kind of looking elsewhere now. You got a population problem growing.
Yeah, they have an overbuilding problem.
Elderly population.
Yeah, they blew out their real estate building.
Number of boys to girls. China's got real problems.
Yeah. So what Bill just said, Terry, where do you come down on this? By the way, he's citing deficit spending. Interest on the U.S. debt is expected to hit $1.2 trillion in a few years. It's going to exceed Social Security payments. It's going to be the biggest item in the budget, beating the Pentagon's budget. What do you think?
Well, at first, when you asked me to come on, I was a little bit nervous about having a debate, Bill. But listen, I love the article. I think he brings up some very good points, namely the divide between the elites and the everyday American people in this country. Right? There are several polls between Ivy Leaguers where, for example, 88% of Ivy Leaguers would support rationing things like meat in our food supply and gasoline, where only 21% of normal everyday Americans support that. There is absolutely a growing divide in this country between essentially a corrupted elite class that is gaslighting the American people and propagandizing and selling snake oil to us, and then there's the American people who are still good and honest. And so I think that was a very good article and a great contrast to make between where we're heading and where we were.
Yeah, what Terry just said, and Bill, you're saying it too. The Free Press co-founder, which Neil just wrote for, Nellie Bowles, says she's, quote, hopeful normal people will fight back against what she says is a far-left revolution in U.S. cities and institutions. Neil Ferguson is saying we need to take a closer look at feeling patriotic about America, feeling good and positive about America, feeling good about spirituality and religion, children, community involvement. They're all important. But he's saying the Democrat Party is undermining the federal bureaucracies and universities. What do you make of this collectivist DEI factory he's saying that only benefits, quote, apparatchik bureaucrats?
Yeah, he's pointing out what happens when you rely on government. It takes more and more control and a big state, and you take for granted the virtues that let people live in a free society. I think the most damning thing, apart from the gap between the elites and the ordinary people, the most damning thing is about values. And I think a lot of the young people are really lost because life has no meaning for them.
Yeah, they are lost. What do you think, Terry? Yeah, people get what Bill just said. That's important, what he just said. What do you think, Terry? Final word.
Listen, I think that the American family is going the same way that the Soviet family went. It's being abolished, right? The marriage rates are through the floor. People are getting married at higher and higher ages. They're not having children like they used to. That's a sign of pessimism in the future, and we have to fight back here. And the good thing, though, the big difference is America still has free and fair elections, and so we can stop this right now.
And America is good. Bill McGurn, Terry Schilling, you guys are great. Thank you so much. Still ahead.